Good evening, curling fans. I'm Brent Lang coming to you from the Everest Senior Curling Championships in Vernon, British Columbia. We've got a heater of a matchup here tonight. We've got Team Quebec versus Team Nova Scotia. Team Quebec skipped by Francois Roberge, 2006 Brier champion. I know because I was there and they beat us in the Brier final. First up, we got lead Jean Gagnon for Quebec throwing the intern. I would assume throwing a guard. These guys always played aggressive. Their old skip, Jean-Michel Menard, who would be not quite 50 yet, but he's close. But maybe they don't want him back. They're doing pretty well without him. These guys were at the event last year in Nova Scotia, had a hot start and then kind of faded at the end of the week. So looking to move up the ranks, and I'm sure they came in with the plan of winning. Same as Paul Fleming, who was also here last year. Slightly different team. Not sure if his third, same last name. Not sure if it's an upgrade or a downgrade yet, but we will see. Joking, of course. So Paul going to go for the corner, going with the corner guard here. We got lead Chris Grand Kelly. He's a territory account manager for ASA Abloy Opening Solutions Americas. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but sounds fancy. Both of these teams are sitting at 2-0 in the pool that I've been calling the death pool. I mean, they're all difficult at this point. You know, it is a Canadian championship, but this pool is exceptionally hard. I think there are at least four teams that could win this event. So anyway, time will tell. Got to try and figure out if that's touching the center line just in case they wreck. I don't think Paul's planning on hitting the guard, but it's possible. Just back 12, you can hear it. Thankfully for us, Paul's got a booming big voice, so hopefully we'll be able to hear him tonight. But the boys on this one right away. Chris must have been a little inside the intended target line, and great sweep, held it, nice weight control, and enough to punch it through the back. So good start here to the game. We'll see if this one can live up to the incredible game we saw this afternoon. Back and forth, Manitoba coming out victorious over Team New Brunswick. Quebec second, Eric Sylvain. But this one a little wide. Not sure he's going to stick around, but he will kill it. So now will Paul go around, or will he peel the center guard? Walking up awfully close to that center guard. He is going to hit the center. I don't blame him, but as a fan of the game, it wasn't what I was hoping to see. The Nova Scotia second, Marty Gavin, a familiar face and name for me. Played in a couple of Briers out of Northwest Territories with Jamie Cooey. So we played against him multiple times. Pretty talented musician by the sounds of it. Plays a bunch of stuff. He's a Canadian Jazz Band finalist in saxophone. Plays the guitar. What happened there? Trying to give you an update on Marty, but that's a strange miss. I don't know if that picked or if he really hooked that one and got it curling. He's trying to roll the other way. Anyway, I better pay attention. So Eric with the chance to make the outturn come around here. John Max jumped on this one right away, so they think it's light, and this does look way light. Maybe not. Well, they're interested now, but it's all over the front. It is way light. Not a good shot from Eric there. Anytime you cross the center guard, that's a problem. Paul gonna switch gears. A little bit surprised. Maybe he didn't like what he saw on the first one from Marty here, and he's like, maybe we better stick to the come arounds. I'm not sure. I doubt that's the case, but maybe because the guards are kind of hooked now. See if Marty can get one in there, top 8, bite the forefoot, put some pressure on Quebec. This one's curling early too. I can't see this one. Must be a little bit heavy to hold that line. Line's really good. Almost great, but almost also in the worst spot. If Maxime Amelie can make this draw to the button, Quebec struggled in the draw to the button. One of them actually missed the house, so that's how Nova Scotia has the hammer. But if Team Quebec can put this one on the button, buried shot frozen is always a great combination. This one's tight. Well, they got it by. Gotta get it there for speed. Worried, falling in love with the line. Did they get it there? They left it short. A good shot though, and you can see Paul's not super happy. I think you'll see him peel the guards now. I would hope. Guess he could play the intern crease, but Paul's always been a fairly aggressive skip too. Had lots of success in his own right. Lost the 2005 Briar to Randy Furby. I think this is the play here. I mean, what's Quebec going to do if you peel these? They might throw a guard. This is a very makeable double peel. This is Peter Burgess, brother of Craig, uncle of Carly, the famous Burgess curling family out in Nova Scotia. Got this one curling. I think he's going to cross the face. Not a good start. Okay. We saw a bit of a crazy start earlier in the ladies' game, and so Frankie is going to hit this. Not sure what tap in the hand. That looks like kind of hack weight ice. Max trying to hit and roll dead buried. Eric was almost sweeping that before Max let it go, and he was correct. Does it get by? It touches the guard. Still makes a pretty good shot. A very good sweep by the fellas. Now hit and roll time for Peter here. Paul asking for control weight. Can get shot rock. Just want to roll a rock and a half to the center line side. Sounds close. Just rolls a little bit too far, and see if Francois chooses to hit this. He could and probably should just throw that for his lefty out-turn draw, or I'm pretty sure that's what Paul's going to have to do. Somebody's going to get to the top of the button buried. So choosing to play the hit and roll, not the wrong call. It's just not the one I would probably choose in this spot. Looks very difficult, even if you were to miss the draw, which I wouldn't think you would. So if they make a good shot here, hit and roll right on top of theirs, they'll be two buried, a great situation. I think Paul's going to have to throw that in-turn draw. And if he makes it, Quebec won't be able to get it out. Sounds very close. Not quite. So will Paul make the draw here? There is a double, but you'd probably lose your shooter. Could play the hit and roll. Probably easier to draw one there than hit and roll there, but he is going to play the hit and roll. Needs to roll all the way in for shot rock. If they knows it, Francois will probably play the hit and roll again. See the time clocks there. All teams start with 30 minutes. It's thinking time, which just means the clock only runs. You'll see that clock stop once Paul starts throwing. Once he hits the tee line there. Trying to get this one to curl. Francois and Team Quebec thought it was going to curl more than it did too. As he gets shot rock, the soft weight. Don't think he killed either one. But got shot rock and really opened up a pretty straightforward score now for Nova Scotia. That was not what he was trying, but a pretty good result. Not going to score a deuce here unless something crazy happens, but going to have a wide open shot for one. So Frankie needs to hit and stay out here, probably trying to roll in. Throw some weight and try the flat roll. Somewhere in the back of the house buried, make it a little harder on Paul in Nova Scotia. Again, sounds very close. Oh, good looking shot. How's this? Dead buried back 4 foot. Sorry, Paul, I said you were going to have an open shot. I lied. Seems to be part of my MO. So now a tough shot. He has to draw full 4 foot. A great hit and roll by Francois Robert's great line call. And a good start for Quebec. I didn't catch if Paul was one of the Nova Scotia players to throw the draw the button. Skips through a lot of them, so I would say he probably was. So he probably has a pretty good idea of speed here, and he's always been a great player, up and down, but always exceptionally great at the touch shots, little hits and rolls, and he's had success in men's, mixed, seniors, you name it. Paul's just a winner. This looks tight. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, no. This is going to be a steal of 3, I think. I think that back one is a biter, and a disastrous start for Nova Scotia. I got to stop jinxing these guys. A very uncharacteristic miss from Paul Fleming, but I think that's going to be 3 for Quebec. A big steal of 3 and a 3-0 start to the game. So Nova Scotia with a big hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it starting in the second end when we're back right after this.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
We're back, and it was a 3-steal. Steal of 3 for Quebec, and the dream start. There's still 2 against us in the 2006 Brier final, but I don't have any PTSD. I'm going to stop bringing that up. Makes me angry just thinking about it. But Quebec definitely didn't expect that, but a great shot from Francois Robert's that hit and roll. And then an uncharacteristic, I don't know if Paul just was a little bit soft on release because he lost the line early. So some ground to make up. Quebec calling the guard here. You know there's a lot of time left, 7 ends left. You're not going to run them. Very similar start to last end. Chris with nice weight control here, giving his sweepers a chance to manipulate this one in there for him, and just like last end, makes a good shot. This one sticks around, but that blue one back there is actually a better stone for Nova Scotia than it is for Quebec. So Eric Sylvain trying to remove this one and avoid the jam, so wants to hit and roll to the wide side. Does want to stick around if he can. Max trying to carve that one over. Unsuccessful. So now some options for Nova Scotia. You go around the corner guard, but then you're not shot. So I think he's probably going to freeze on the back one would be my guess. He's going to go around the corner. So anytime we're talking strategy, I always ask myself, okay, if we make this, what is Quebec going to do? Do we think they're going to peel the corner guard? I don't think they can. Because then there'll be a yellow one in the house and you'll just go around the center, and then what are they going to do? So I think they'll probably come to the realization that they may want to draw. We'll see what Marty Gavin's got here. It looked like it was curling out of his hand. I think this is going to get awfully tight to that guard. Boys are working hard to try and get it by, but no dice. He's just soft on that release. And if I'm Quebec, I see a little bit of blood in the water here. Big momentum swing in the first end. Not that there was any momentum for anybody, but the momentum's heavily in Quebec's favor. And now another miss early in this end. And a chance to draw around the center guard. Eric's got to take advantage of this. Make a good one. Top 4 foot, dead buried. Put some pressure on Nova Scotia. This one's got a lot of curling to do, but we've seen the ice has been fantastic. A lot of late finish, and look at that thing walk over there. Good come around by Eric Sylvain. This looks like a tough one. If I'm in the hack, Marty, really got to get the weight right here. An overthrow and you won't get that curl. Technically solid delivery. All 8 of these guys know what they're doing out there, obviously. We're just trying to get this one to walk over. Got to make some solid contact. Doesn't stay for a second, and you're going to see Quebec draw again here. No doubles. Compounding our problems here for Nova Scotia a little bit. Sweepers jumped on this one right out of Max's hand, and you can see it's affecting the line. Far too often in our game, we sweep it early and we screw up the line. And quite often, as is the case here, it wasn't even light. So if the sweepers just kind of walked beside that one, I think it would have been made a lot better. So now we got a chance, because it's deeper in the house, it's more open. Just a back 8-foot, bump it back, roll to the top of the button. Turn trouble into an opportunity here if you're Nova Scotia. We'll see if Peter Burgess can get the weight and the line matched up here. Very close. This looks like a great shot coming in. Actually lost it, over curled. Rolled right into the hole. But a great throw and a tricky shot here for Quebec. Got to come through a hole, switch inside, so switching turns. You can see the jam back there, but almost not room to jam it. There is, but see Jean Gagnon saying it's a bit heavy. A good shot, but I think the extra weight there was the difference. So Paul's trying to say same weight. If he can make the same weight, and no matter where he rolls, it'll be really difficult to get rid of because there'll be a wall of blue at the back. Great communication there. Paul needs to know if it's a little more.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
We're back. My apologies. I think we had a bit of a technical difficulty there. I cut out the second half at the end, but I'm back. I think things should be up and working. And a great bounce back end for Nova Scotia. Big score of 3 after giving up a steal of 3. We got a shootout at the OK Corral here early on. Peter Burgess with 2 really great shots got in to set that up, and then Paul with a good come around and forcing the miss from Francois and a really tough chase. So we're back to square one. The only difference is now Quebec has the hammer. So disappointing. You can see a little bit more pep in big Paul Fleming's step back there. Jean Gagnon being asked to make the out turn come around, set up the end for the boys. A little bit heavy. They haven't touched it. Back button. Place you don't want to live as a lead. Paul is going to kill it. Okay. I thought he might just freeze. Yeah, he heard me. I think that's actually, not only is it a better shot, it's actually probably easier. So we'll see if Chris can get one in there. Needs to be shot rock here. Needs to be right down to it. Looks pretty close for weight. Doesn't quite have the line right yet. Needs to curl. But does get there. Good spot. So now, Jean Gagnon being asked to play the in-turn freeze. The key to this shot is just put it somewhere that it's above shot rock, not removable by the opponent. It's cardinal sin here. Yeah, this is getting a little bit complicated now for Quebec. You can see Paul just play a little bump. Freeze bump. That was on the right line from Jean. Just needed to be top 8, top 4, somewhere that they could use it to remove the yellow one. The only good news there is he did bump the yellow one kind of open on the out turn side as we're looking at it. So Marty Gavin in turn. Trying to bump this one kind of right on the nose. It looked like he changed it to through the ring. So trying to kill one, which makes this shot quite a bit harder. This one is gone, knew it. All over the front. So I've seen a couple really over curl early here, especially in that spot right there. That's where Paul's draw was in the first end. And a good situation for Nova Scotia in one shot goes to a really bad one. Eric trying to draw around, probably half buried, top 4 depth. He's got a lot of curling to do. Got a lot of curling to do. This is going to leave some sort of double or triple. This is going to be wide open. Not terrible though. I mean, Paul's going to have to hit that. Probably going to try and take it across the top of those blues and kill it that way. 2/3 Peel. You hear Paul. He's not mic'd, but we can hear him. Big booming voice. 2/3. Hit this on the high side on the outturn side. Across the top of the blue one. Kill the back blue. The middle one will probably jam. Might even spin behind the guard, which would be good for Quebec. We're back on the release there from Marty, but they like it. Starting to look good for Quebec here now. Just over curled. Would have made the double, but the problem was there was too many jams there. Jammed on the back, rolled over the side. There's a double on the Blues. That's just a bit of a saving grace for Nova Scotia off the wide one. They throw it fairly hard, but... And his shooter stayed in a great spot. Francois won't want to leave that there, I wouldn't think, but he's gonna. That yellow one, I'd be concerned about that one if I was Quebec. But Quebec is famous for applying pressure. Being aggressive. If there's an aggressive or defensive, generally they lean aggressive. This has got to get by the guard, however. Looks like it's by. Pretty good shot. So is Paul going to take on that hit and roll slash double? Is he going to bump his yellow? He's saying half rock double. Peter Burgess here. A little backswing for a little extra pepper. You gotta hit this thick, if anything, and roll in there. Thin and miss it is bad news. Oh, that is really thin. What a game so far. Man, there's been a lot of back and forth. Now what do you do if you're... Now you got to be worried about that top yellow one. It also guards, if they do make that double, it's the one that's going to guard their shooter where it sticks. So I like the hit and roll buried behind the corner guard. I know you don't lie 4, but that's not a gimme double either. Not sure what's going on with our feed here. I can't see anything. Hopefully you can. You can still hear everything, but looks like we've lost our feed. I might have to... Some confirmation from our technical team. They're working on it. Here we got a little. And we're back. Clearer than ever. I think that was just a quick upgrade. We just went to 1080p, whatever that means. They've switched again. They're going to leave that yellow one. They're going to play the draw at a live 4. So what is Paul going to do next? He's still probably going to take on that double again, but see if Max can make this shot. This spot curls a ton. We know that. Like a good positive release. Looks like he knew it. It's going to curl here. Generally when it curls a lot, it does. You do have to throw it a little bit harder. It's actually traveling further distance, but I need this to slow down. Not perfect, but not that bad. What do you do if you're Nova Scotia, folks? Play that double again. You can get second shot. I think you might see them play this yellow one in there and try and stick it on that top 4-foot one. You might make a double. You probably make a double of some sort if you throw some weight. We're looking at that double again. Good option as well. Both of them you have to hit perfect, so. The yellow runner, though, you can end up with shot rock. So Peter and Paul would have talked here and decided, look, this is what happened on that first one, Peter. I thought you slid good and you just were soft, or I thought you slid straight tight. I think you got rid of the back turn on that one. Maybe that was the problem. This one's not nearly as hard. Oh, wow, that was way out there. What a shot. That was not intended. But he might have got second shot. That is very, very fortunate. For Quebec, that is a very, very frustrating. He was going to hit that on the wrong side. How do you get that yellow one out? How do you even make a shot where you can get it out on your next one? Looks like they're motioning to hit that top yellow one into the pile. That doesn't work. I guess you could hit it really hard onto the center line side and maybe splash it out that way, but holy. Yeah, guard, that can't be a real call. They're going to throw a guard here. That tells, they must think their second shot. There's no way they'd be guarding here if they weren't second shot. So, okay, I can get behind this. What's Nova Scotia going to do next? Maxime Amelie played lead on the Brier Championship team in 2006. Jean Gagnon was the 5th. Eric was the 2nd, and then Frankie threw 3rd stones. Francois played a great game that game. And Jean-Michel Menard was the skip. And that's curling plenty. You see enough of that yellow? And Paul's saying back line. I think if I get close to that guard, I think I can get to 7/8 of that, which is kind of what you need to hit. 3/4. Bump, bump, and lie shot buried. This would be a real turnaround this end in just a couple of shots. A really fortunate one. And then this is going to require some skill. The other option is to draw. Even if you didn't kill the shot rock and just bump to freeze, bump it an inch or two, that top 4-foot one, and your second shot, it's going to cut out all those other blue ones in there. I don't see anything too bad that can happen here. You just don't want to free up a way for them to get in there. Attack weight. Hit what he can see. Should lie 1 and 4 if he plants it on there. It will be buried. Here we go. Third end to see if we keep the threes wild. Gavin really trying to hold this one. Got it by the guard. This is a good looking shot. Actually might miss it on the overcurl. So like I said, I think he's bumped that in for second. So that's a really good result for Paul and Team Nova Scotia. So Team Quebec better draw one in there. Yeah. Gotta take away that draw from Nova Scotia. And Paul will have that exact same shot he just threw, however. So you want this one, second shot, top of the button, buried. Don't want to be behind the tee line here, that's for sure. So if they put it right top button, dead behind, there's lots of curl here, dead behind the yellow one. Paul going to take on that same shot, kind of hack weight, try and nose that yellow one. Let's see where Francois and the fellas can put this one. So they like it, ling a bone. Looks like they got too much line, maybe. Okay, they did get second shot, but Paul could make the perfect bump here and get shot rock. Or he can just follow him down. That's probably easier. He saw Quebec get by that top 12 yellow one by almost by a rock. So if he can get by a couple inches tighter and even just freeze on the low side of that one, it's going to be almost an automatic steal. I don't know how Quebec's going to get it out. But a very, very tough shot here. Got to draw right to the button. So Quebec is lying too. So they're saying heavy. The line's tight. The line's really tight. If they get this by, it is going to be, this is perfect. Oh, it didn't quite finish enough, but great shot nonetheless. Quebec's going to be forced to a single here, I think. I guess they could throw a bullet and hit and roll in there, but just miss and feather that yellow and you're going to give up a steal. Whew. I don't know if that seems worth it, Frankie, but he's feeling it. You could almost, if you tick the yellow, you could almost give up a 2 steal. I mean, this shot is there. You gotta throw it pretty hard. Just paper by the yellow, and then the hit and roll will bump up off that blue. Or just roll straight to the side of the button. It's possible. This would be a nice shot. Max doesn't look very convinced, does he? Timeout. They're not convinced here. I don't know that you want to play this shot. I know you want your 2 points, Frankie, but I do think the shot is possible. But You could throw a really good shot here and end up giving up the steal quite easily. So burning a timeout in the third end, but I think a good idea to make sure they're all on board. I don't know if they've switched to throwing this one away or what. I don't think playing it softer makes it any better. They are still playing it, I think. Oh, he's trying something fancy. Trying to round the horn and bump one of the blues up. I don't know what he was trying there, but anyway, it didn't work out. And it's going to be a score of 1 for Quebec and a 4-3 lead after 3 in a wild start to this battle. We'll be right back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships after this quick break. Coming back to the action, fourth end, Nova Scotia will have the hammer, down 1 with, and kind of dodged one there a little bit. Quebec was looking like they may score 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Ended up having to settle for a single, which is good news for Nova Scotia and their fans. Quebec's got to feel like their momentum's a little bit against them. Hot start, gave a 3 back, had a good end, and just let it slip away. Plenty to still be decided here, though. You hear that whistle next door? That's Brian Cochran. We've used that for years in our old provincial battles. He's had some throat trouble in his day and doesn't have a strong enough voice to yell, so always used to ask permission. Of course, everybody was totally okay with that. It's actually better than all the yelling. So Quebec, this one always makes me nervous. Not makes me nervous, but can come back to bite you. So I realize that they're just top 12 and you can draw around everything here, and then the next step for Nova Scotia is they're gonna follow you down and freeze right on it, and they're gonna have 2 that you can't really take out, and the hammer. This is a good shot by Jean. Paul's gonna call the freeze here, and if it's made, advantage Nova Scotia. There it is. Sometimes I'm psychic, folks. Just anything in front of it again that you can use it to get rid of that rock. And is Quebec going to guard the whole end? I doubt it. And I'm not saying they really had a choice. There wasn't much, like, other than chasing that top one. But you can't touch the guard. That no tick rule changes the strategy. This one's got to slow down and curl. This is just a little bit heavy here. Big break, perfect line, big break for Quebec there, so they can draw one right on top of their blue. He's saying there we're going to the back one. I don't speak French, folks. I can make it up though. I understand a little bit, but not enough to, just enough to be dangerous. Body language tells me more than. So another unforced there. Still seeing a lot of the misses being heavy. The ice is fast. It's quite good. So another chance for Nova Scotia here. Now it's going to be up to Gavin here to Marty Gavin to try and get one corner frozen on shot rock that they can use to remove that later. Sweeper's walking beside it again. Just they're heavy. This one's got pretty good line, but I think it must be heavy. I'm gonna bump his own out. And as a skip, nothing really more frustrating than continuing to see the same shot miss the same way. Rich Hart used to be hard on us about that. He used to say, show me you're paying attention. If everybody's missing wide, throw one tight. If everybody's missing heavy, throw one light. And you might be surprised that you make it. This is a tough double, awfully thin. Eric's got this one online though, I think. Good looking shot. You see how thin that was. Moved it out enough to lie two. Paul's gonna probably switch to damage control here. Okay guys, didn't get off to a hot start. Let's see if we can salvage this, maybe make a deuce a different way, but hopefully make sure we're gonna score one here. Oh, a little unlucky there, but Francois kicking it around. I think that was going out. Great result there. Fantastic shot from Marty Gavin. Somebody on Twitter said I need some sound effects for when the great shots are made. I would love to do that. I have no idea what to do other than buying a bell and ringing it or something for you folks. For anybody listening, if you do have questions, comments, good and bad, I can take the heat. At blang99 is my Twitter handle. Send me a message, send me a tweet at me. And it's blang, Laing 99. So Quebec has no choice but to hit this one now, and not a lot of danger now for Nova Scotia, but they're one good hit and roll away or double away from setting up a two. Paul just going to bump this back. He's going to hit and roll in front, I think. Always interested to know what curling fans are thinking of the games, the event, the format, and even, yes, my commentating. I don't think they're quite going to get this roll, but there is room for now for, Quebec to hit and roll and spread them out. So Max is going to probably throw control weight, try and hit about half a rock and roll right over to that other yellow, or in behind the corner guard would be fine. Just want to spread theirs out to try and keep this force to one alive. It's not a very good steal opportunity, but sounds pretty good. It's very good. So will Paul probably draw around the corner guard now, though. See if he can get a miss out of Quebec, a mistake. No double, never going to be a double. I guess he could hit that, but this is fine. You have to hit it a little bit on the high side, roll right in front of the yellow. Quebec's just going to have to hit and stay there, probably make the double if they do, or hit and roll back in. We need a pretty big mistake here to get this one to count. Sounds close. Really running out of gas here as it finishes. I think they're going to jam this. But ended up with the result that the draw would have given them. So, hey, there's lots of different ways to get to the same place. It's second shot. You can just see the edge of it, so it is chaseable. The other option is you just come down and just bump it a little bit and stay right on top of it for a shot rock. Personal preference, both are tricky. I would say that's definitely ice to move it. I think it would be a little bit. I think you'd need at least edge of button to just draw over there. Dave Merklinger, the ice maker, and his son. I'm gonna go. I keep saying it's Mike. I should double check that. I've done a fantastic job getting this ready for the athletes, for the players. I haven't heard any complaints yet. I wouldn't listen to any if I did hear them because I've been watching it. The ice is great. It looked a little bit rounded to me, like that's gonna curl. Francois is a bit of an artist, though. He might have done that on purpose to try and get this in there. Good looking shot. Does he bounce it far enough? He does. Lying three. Really close to a triple, though. Yeah, unfortunate. I think he can make this. Gonna just have to catch the back end of one of the two, either the, as the double's a thick half to the two middle ones. To catch that back one is a thin half, so it's not quite perfect, but it is makeable. Kevin Martin always used to say if it's a 90-degree angle, it's there. So if I had a telestrator here, I'm drawing it on my screen for you, but you can't see it. So it needs to hit. This is not quite perfect. You have to hit it thin enough to go into the back side of the one across and hope it hangs on. Good looking straight throw. This is really over curled though. And a big break for Quebec there. Chance to force, just make the yellow go away. And they'll have the force. And Paul will have to make a good shot against two or three, probably three. So anything on the outside here, but he does want to stick around. Like if he can kind of nose this or just hit and roll right in front of his, it's going to make Paul's shot that much harder. 6 to lie 3. And Paul's got a choice to make. He's got a hit here with a catcher. So right where that great big 10-inch brownie is nose hit does it. Almost anything on the broom side will just go. Hey boys, get to work. Clean my path. I like that, Paul. He's a front ender. We should always be doing that. Not a lot else we got to do. well, the back end's working, so we should make sure we at least clean the path for them. But as I was saying, you can hit this almost anywhere on the broom side. I mean, you can't hit a quarter rock, but you could hit half a rock, 2/3, 3/4, nose. A lot of room for error here. Not a lot of panic in those voices, so I think he's good. Good shot from Paul, and Team Nova Scotia ends up with a single. We got a tie game at 4 after 4. Stick around. This is going to be a good finish, I have a feeling. We'll be back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships right after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
So some updates here. Sorry, I'm asleep at the wheel. We got Ontario, Manitoba ladies tied at 2. In a battle of 2 of the heavyweights in this field. We got the ladies from Alberta up 7-3 on Newfoundland and Labrador. Quebec, Nova Scotia, that's our game, 4-4. Next door, Saskatchewan. Whoa, that one got away from Northern Ontario quickly, 8-1. And the Saskatchewan ladies, who we saw earlier today, 4-2 with the hammer on New Brunswick. Nova Scotia ladies off to a quick start, 7-1 on Nunavut. Another wild one over here. I gotta think that's Ontario men. up 5-0, I think, on Northwest Territories. I don't know which color is which, but that's my guess. And then Nunavut, nice Tukes, fellas, looking sharp. That's a tough one to see for sure. Looks like at least 3-1. Don't know what happened in the first end, and Glenn Mackey there's not going to let me see what the score is, so nor who they're playing. But lots of action. We're draw. I think this is draw 4. I lose count quickly, folks, so don't hold me to that. But this is no, it's got to be draw 5. We're 5 draws into this, approaching almost halfway of the round robin. Each team's going to play 6 games within their pool of 7 teams. And from there, we'll have 8 qualify for the next round, which I believe is a modified double knockout to 2 semifinals. And then obviously 2 gold medal games and 2 bronze medal games on the ladies and the men's side. And come Saturday evening at the closing banquet, which will be a rockin' party hosted by Everest, we will crown 2 new Team Canadas. I say new because both of the reigning champions are not here. So there have to be a new champion this year. So we're back at it. Quebec with the hammer. Nova Scotia with the center guard coming here. Nova Scotia lead Chris Gran. I'm going to go with Gran Kelly. I think that's what I said earlier. It might be Gran Kelly. I apologize to friends, family, and everyone for butchering last names. If you see me if your friends or family and you want to tell them I butchered their name, they'll see me in the hospitality of the Everest suite at night and they can tell me to smarten up. That's fine with me. Good shot there by Chris. We see quite often that in the 5th end they slip into the rings on those because the ice has generally been swept and is a little bit faster. So Jean Gagnon going to play the come around. Perfect spot for this is biting the 4-foot dead buried. So when they freeze to it, you got lots of room later to draw in there. But they can't draw around it to get buried. This is all over the guard. It wasn't on the center line, so they can move this. Still not on the center line. That's actually quite a good shot. Kind of 2 centers, but Paul's going to plug the middle up there and throw another guard. Paul Fleming still owning and operating. It's the fish and chip spot. Harbor Fish and Fries. One of the friendliest guys you'd ever meet. Friendly giant. He's been operating that fish and fries, and I'm not even going to try, with Muscadaubois Harbor, Nova Scotia, 40 minutes east of Halifax. Operating it since 1995, and he closes from December to April. Allows him to chase his passion, obsession, addiction to curling. Good shot there. So you can see it's kind of tough to get in there. They're going to go around the corner. I think that makes a lot of sense. Or around the center, okay. I kind of like going around the blue one, but this is fine. I think the Quebec guys purposely didn't fill out their bios because they know that I know they're the 06 Brier champs and they want to torture me and make me talk about that. That's all I really know about them. I think Frankie used to work for Sears, but I don't think that's even alive anymore, so I'm not really sure. I could have made that up too. This one's too heavy. Threw this one too far, as they say. Not a good spot. Jean won't be happy with that one. Look at that curl, though. This ice is so good, it makes me want to throw rocks. I'm going to have to practice again soon. Jen and I will be back on the ice for some mixed doubles at the end of the month. So musician Marty Gavin here. He's an engineer and associate at GHD Engineering Limited, Canadian Federal Sector Leader. They got some impressive titles here. Wanted to say thanks to GHD for the time off for curling this week. You have to have understanding employers or be self-employed, own a business of some sort, or be unemployed, because curling takes a lot of time away from not just family and friends, but away from work. And that's a great shot by Marty. I'm getting congested here if I'm Quebec. I'm not sure I love this. Might want to deal with those guards. Marty also said he qualified for the, I'm going to ask him about this. 10 years ago, qualified for the Canadian Kayaking Championships in 2013, but he didn't attend. That sounds hard. Ask him about that. So they did settle on it. They kind of squabbled a little bit about maybe we should. Oh, Jean's given those hand signals. I understand that in any language. This is way too heavy, I think. They do not like it. The thumbs up and then the waving like, no, this is no good. And Jean was right out of the hand, and this is getting messy now for Quebec. So can Marty make that exact same draw right to the top of the button this time. And put some serious heat on Quebec. You can see Francois, he doesn't look super happy back there. He's not a very easy guy to get rattled. I'm not suggesting he's rattled, but he looks like he's concerned. We'll say that. So Marty trying the exact same shot. Guys think he's a little late. Watch out, fellas. You can see they almost ran into the guys on the next sheet. That's a bunch of curls. You got to have it that wide that your feet are on the edge of the sheet. This one is a little bit too wide. Needs to curl in there. Weight is really good, though. Nice pair of shots there by Marty. And Quebec's got to blow something up here. There's no way to get in there, so double peel. Get it coming back, even if you get a little fortunate. Eric needs to hit about, looks like a thick third, skinny half. If he hits this little thick and just ticks the second one, can he get it? Oh no, didn't make the contact on the second one. So you're going to see a guard from Team Nova Scotia here. See, even if Quebec got to shoot now, it's not a very good situation. Nova Scotia is going to do their best to make it worse for Quebec. So you hear Paul saying halfway high. Wants to make the double peel difficult. So often with guards, we just think, just guard it. If it's in front of it, that's great. But when you're throwing the second guards, I don't think a lot of teams spend a lot of time and effort practicing on pinpointing it. If we're drawing the button and we end up back 8, we're pretty disappointed. But somehow if we're throwing a halfway guard and we end up tight, which is the same miss, it's fine. Doesn't make sense to me. This one's coming right in, so case in point. Holy, that is not halfway high, but it's not halfway bad either, actually. What do you do with that, Quebec? You got to try and just skinny by that, or even if you tick, make that double. I don't think that does it for you. I like trying to do that, Frankie. The shooter goes, but so what? You got to open this up. Quebec's got to be thinking about how do we score here. Peel, hit an inch of that top one if you can. The shooter's going to be spinning like crazy. No way you're going to keep it there unless you hit the back one first. Then you're not going to kill the top one probably, though. Max Almalay here going to throw Peel in the smoke. Still as smooth as he's ever thrown it by the looks of it to me. This looks pretty close. Oh, see, that's no bueno. Needed to make that top one go away. So Paul's still lying 2 here, Nova Scotia. They do have to deal with that, though. He rolled right into theirs, and it would be pretty much dead buried. So play a weight, like hacker board weight, and hit a skinny half, or even they play the dead roll, which would be best, but you can roll right into yours. It's a catcher, and it would stay buried. Peter Burgess here. Peter played with the late Jim Sullivan. Super talented and successful curler out of New Brunswick back in the day. I played 3 years with him right out of juniors. He was such a great player. Sure was. Lost the 1990 Brier final when he was super young. So Quebec's got damage control here. Trying to run this across the face. See if they can get some movement on those yellows. Important shot here for Max. Got to make some noise in the house. Straight peel doesn't do it for you here. Sounds close. That's moving though. Gonna make some kind of noise. It made some noise, but didn't make it much better. So does Paul come right in on top of that one, I would think. Or he could guard. Yeah, it's getting late enough. If you over curl the guard at all, Francois is going to draw. That would be a good spot. Look for Peter Cup there. Don't leave him that freeze. Because he's going to take it on, and that's going to cut out those two on you right away. So the guard, but what they're really guarding here, you can't leave a hole, but what they're really guarding needs to be tight because they don't want to leave Francois and Team Quebec to come around, to draw to the back one for shot, or draw to the T line for shot. They want to make them deal with the guards, because then on their last, if they could ever put one right in the top 8 foot in front of the back one, you'd have to make a double to give Nova Scotia 1 point. So I think that's what Paul's thinking here. Marty's got the broom down, trying to keep this from curling, I think. Does not need to curl. And this is right what they were looking for. That is a great spot right there. If you could walk it down, I think that's where I would have put it. So Francois is probably going to take on the double. That one into the one top 4. Don't think he has a choice. Could get lucky and make the triple. That would be very lucky. But if he makes that double, that one top 4 is the one that's killing you. The one back 4 is almost helping you because if it's open, that's how you're going to get your point. You're going to draw to it or hit it. I don't think you can run that guard, guys. Taking the time here, but I don't see another shot, so. It's got to hit here. Got to hit about 2/3. 3/4 is if you're really trying to get fancy and just tick the second one and get the back one, but really wants to make a double. Quebec's getting a little bit tight on time. 3 ends to go. They got just over 10 minutes. Still lots, but they've used more than their average amount allotted for the first 5 ends, that's for sure. Oh, great shot, Frankie. That's a big one. Giving themselves a chance to score. So where's Paul going to put this? I think he's going to put it right back in the same spot. And I think that's the perfect spot. If he plays the draw, if you're buried, you'd have to be on the button buried. Otherwise, Francois can just draw to the back one there and get shot anyway. So I think you want to put it right back where it was, and then Frankie's going to have to make another double to take one. Might be a double to blank, but Paul taking no time, that's for sure. Paul tell us how many Briars he's been to? I know it's a lot. I'm not a guy to brag. It's not on there. He was just at the Canadian Mixed as well, representing Nova Scotia. I know he's got a lot of Nova Scotia jackets. He's won the Canadian Mixed before, and this is a good shot. Right where you want it. Quebec has no chance but to take on the double. There's no way to score otherwise. He might be able to blank it, though. Super hard, 3/4. Across the top double. Yeah, Max is saying it's a lot easier to call the nose double than it is across the face, but throw it hard and get it close, as Wayne Middaugh used to say. Put some pressure on the line caller. So either dead nose, that would make the double and get them a point, or 3/4, make the double across the top. You might be able to roll it out. Francois still, where that sliding broom is not new. They don't make them like that anymore. Right out of his hand. Oh, missed it by absolutely nothing, but a big steal of one for Nova Scotia. Francois a little bit frustrated there. Nova Scotia takes the 5-4 lead to the 6th end. We'll be right back with the 6th end action.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
We're back, and we've got another great game here. Super tight one here. Big steal for Nova Scotia in the 5th end to go up 5-4. So Quebec looking to answer with multiple points here in the 6th. First one sliding a little bit too far. Back button, nothing too serious, but further than he wanted to throw that one, that's for sure. So Jean Gagnon throwing the corner guard. I want these corner guards, I know I'm harping on it, but going on too long and they get to be useless. This one's got to stop though. Unforced error. Jean will not be happy with that one. So I googled you, Paul, and you've been to 6 Briars. I would have guessed more than that. I feel like he's been to a lot of Briars, but 98, 99, and 2013 he skipped. So I would have played him in 2013. 2001 is 3rd for Mark Dacey. I wasn't there. In 2005, I wasn't there. In 2011, 3rd for Sean Adams. Played him there too. So I guess I only played Paul 2 Briars. Lost the final in 2005, as I said earlier, to the old Furby 4. That was, I'll tell Randy this later, that was the last time he was really any good. He didn't win anything after that, I don't think. I'll ask him. So the 5-rock rule, giving Jean another shot here, another chance. This one's sliding too, but I think it will stop in time. On the flip side, Francois Roberge has been to 4 Briars. 2000, 2002, 2005, and 2006. They were the world silver medalists in 2006. And sliding. Good spot there. Just trying to get something that Quebec has to deal with. Eric Sylvain's been to 12 Briars. That's a lot of Briars. First one in 2000, last one in 2019. I think this is over curled the roll. Maybe make the double. No, hit and roll in front though. Difficult one to remove. Might see Paul peel the corner guard. Probably not. Only up one. Board weight, hit and roll behind the corner. I think he said normal. He didn't hear me. Worried this one's curling. Don't want to jam this one, that's for sure. Oh, this is a great shot. Gonna roll almost buried behind the corner. Good spot. Quebec desperately wants to get one behind the corner guard here. Let's see if Eric can throw the in-turn. I'm sure he tapped his hand out. That's probably board weight. That's a lot of ice for board, but he knows Eric's the in-turn better than I do, and good looking throw there. It should curl. Good looking shot here. Did they lose it? Not bad. Second shot. Tough to hit because of that one back eight. But you really don't want to leave it there, as Paul's body language is telling you. Just maybe pick it. That's a tough shot. It's possible. So knows it. Just board. Somewhere between hack and board. Don't overthrow it is what he's saying, but big shot here coming for Peter Burgess. A tough one. A tough shot that doesn't get them a great result in terms of getting them in a good spot to steal or anything either, but whoa, a little this almost fell on his face there. Can they get this by the guard? If they chip the guard, oh, this is a great shot. That was not an easy shot, folks. Rolled to a spot where they can freeze on the back one, but that was a really good shot by Peter. I think you want to freeze the back one here. So Nova Scotia lying 4, but none of those rocks are overly great in terms of really helping. The best rock they have is the one they just rolled buried, but it's kind of acting as a guard for this freeze. So see if Max can make this freeze. Oh, mass, a little bit heavy. And bounce off and allow Nova Scotia to hit that and roll the center and kill the backing. That's what I would want to do anyway. I really don't think you want to roll behind the... Yeah, that's what you want to do. Hit and roll to the center line if I could choose. Sounds close. Really curling. Really curling. Holy smokes. So take 2 for Max. See what he learned from the first one. See if he can make the adjustment. And lock it right on there. Lock it on about 2/3, 3/4 high. Shot rock won't be removable, and Paul's gonna have to come down and bump it and stay on the nose. Nova Scotia, although they're lying for, they're in full defensive mode here. Not a great steal opportunity. Another one en masse. This one's even heavier than the last one. This might go by everything. Nova Scotia lies 3 now, so you're going to see Paul put one in the way of that freeze, I would think. Or just draw away from it, and then when they make the freeze, it won't be shot. You could draw kind of top 4-foot on the other side of the center line, half around or a quarter around your top 12 line. I don't think you want to go there. You could go there, block the freeze. You're either taking away the freeze or you're going to draw somewhere where the freeze isn't shot rock. So if they do make it, then you just follow them down and lie 2. Anything there, they're going to draw around it. I think I like drawing to the the highest peak in the mountain there, top 4-foot, just right of the Everest logo. I'm going to call timeout. They're going to talk about it. And I like the out turn, cross center, draw right to the top 4. If you go there, you're going to force them to draw around it. That's fine. I think that's better than higher. Just don't want to leave it open where they can hit and roll under. But they probably wouldn't be shot, so that's not that bad either. You have to take away this freeze somehow, though. You can't leave that freeze unless you're going to... Right there, I like that. Paul's broom is on overdrive. Yeah, you could just draw on the center line too. Right there is a good spot. That's my favorite. Yeah, somewhere where when they freeze, you're still shot rock. That's where I like it, right there. And they either got to make the freeze and leave you shot, and then you just draw down with it, or they have to make a perfect hit and roll. Time's coming back in now. We've got 9 minutes left. That's quite a while, and plus 1 timeout. 30 minutes per team to start the game. I'm pretty sure at the Grand Slams that we only get 24 minutes. I keep saying we. I don't play in Grand Slams anymore, but the Grand Slam players get 24 minutes for their 8-end games, so lots of time here, but it is great to have the time clocks to keep the flow of the game going. Nobody likes a 3-hour 8-end game, or maybe that's just me. I hate them. So I think they are drawn to the spot that I suggested. Oh no, he's still an intern, so I'm wrong. He's drawing top 8 foot in front of the freeze. That's how he's going to deal with taking that away. I think they're saying top 12, top 8. You don't want this top 12. That's almost a guard. Got to get this into the 8 foot. So that's, to me, that's too high. Francois is just going to draw around that, and you're going to have to make a 6 or 8 foot run back. I would have liked to see that 4 feet farther. So Francois going to see if he can make the old skipper's deuce. Earn the big bucks they pay him for throwing last. It'll be okay if this goes behind the tee line. You want some separation. You want to be able to get it buried. And Paul's going to probably have to follow it down. Kind of sliding beside it like it's a little heavy. The line's getting good. We never really quite got the line, but isn't there good enough that Paul's probably going to have to draw by the looks of it? Paul would like to draw right down to the face of it. Freeze it right on there, knowing that probably Francois is going to just follow it down and get his single point, but Paul would be very happy with that at this point. Well played end by Nova Scotia. See if they can finish it off with one more well played shot. Get the hammer back in 7 and 2-end game for the W. They like the line, they like the weight. Keep a broom on it if it's close, fellas. I'd hate to see this pick. Line's perfect. It's even a little bit tighter of Frankie's, so I think they're going to have to sweep this to hold it. Don't want to let this over curl. Not a good shot, Paul. Well swept, well judged. Kind of made that one right out of his hand. Not sure what we're looking at here for Quebec. Yeah, we just got to play the draw. Same thing we just threw. To tie this game up, and took a long time, but Nova Scotia is going to get the hammer back tied. They started tied with the hammer and have not been back in that situation since. I don't think. So he has to draw full forfeit here. I know he did just throw this, but this shot will require all your attention. The boys think it's close, but a little bit heavy, if anything. Line looks pretty good. Needs to curl if you need the backing, though. Oh, there it just made a big move. I think that picked a little bit. We're going to get one here for Quebec. A good shot by Francois Roberge. And we've got a tie game, folks. We got 2 ends to decide the winner of this. The Everest Senior Curling Championships, Nova Scotia versus Quebec. We'll be right back after this short break.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Okay, folks, we're back. Everest Senior Curling Championships from, I almost said Victoria, BC. I didn't move, though. We're still in Vernon. And we've got a great battle going on here between two of the favorites coming into this week in Nova Scotia and Quebec. 5-5 playing the 7th end. Paul Fleming would love a blank, but I don't think Francois is going to let him do that. So he's probably got to be thinking 2 points here. Important to get this speed right. It doesn't really matter if this one's buried because Francois is not going to hit it. They're going to throw another center guard. So you just want to get this one half in the forefoot, right about there. Great start for Chris. Sorry, Chris, I'm going to stop butchering your last name. I'm not even going to try. So Jean now being asked to throw a tight guard. Important that this is touching the center line so that they're not able to chip it. They've got the no tick rule on rocks touching the center line. So want to get this to the center line because you might see Paul take on the chip shot. This is going to get to the center line easily. Good pair there by Jean. Good start, but that one, Chris's first one is in such a good spot. Can he make the exact same shot again? Right on top of it, lined up, straight to the button. Leads have become so, not that they weren't always important, but leads have become so important. I said it earlier today. When you get a lead, which neither of these teams have right now, but when you get a lead in the game, your best defender is quite often your first rocks or your lead. If they can get those rocks lined up in a line, on the center line, in the 4-foot and 8-foot, it makes life very difficult on the team trying to make a comeback. So see if Chris looks like he's done it here. This is a good looking shot. That is pretty much perfect. Would like that to curl another inch, but I wouldn't complain too much. You can see the challenge the Team Quebec has here. They got to move these around, but they need something back button, back 4 to freeze to. Right now they got no way to use those 2 center guards they threw. Chris's rocks are in too good a spot. So Eric trying to throw just enough to bump it to the back 4-foot. Even if his shooter rolls off, not super important. This one is tight. Eric's still one of the best yellers in the game. Well, it's a good looking shot. Does he have enough weight? Oh, that is a great shot. Got one back there, back 4 to freeze to. Ball's going peeling. And you're going to see an in-turn come around by Quebec. Freeze on the back one. This one they got to go on. Here's the peel. I think you're going to see Francois ask Eric to draw the back button. Freeze is great. Lined it up with, yeah, right in line with those. So over curl the freeze. Time could be a factor for Quebec. I mean, that's still a lot of time. It's under 6 minutes. But if they had a situation where they got to talk a bunch, it's easy to burn through 90 seconds, even 2 minutes. This one's well short of where they're aiming. I've struggled a little bit tonight with draw weight. That's just not... I can't imagine a worse spot to put that if I'm being totally honest, which I want to be. This is almost an immiscible double peel. 2/3, half, 3/4, 7/8. If you hit a quarter, it's not going to be the worst, but it's probably going to spin into the house then. I'm already trying to take care of this. Looks like he got this one back, and he may have jammed it. Francois having a hard time getting around Paul. He's a big fella, big man. So, does that change anything? Well, it's likely somebody's going to score. A lot of rocks in the rings. If I'm Quebec, I still like the freeze. Throw a guard, though. That's okay. First, third stone, though. I don't want to guard for too long. What would Paul do if you still play that back freeze? He's going to probably follow you and bump it. No real danger without a center guard. I would expect they're going to peel if you throw this one, and then you're going to have to do the same thing on the next one. So this one coming in right into the ring. Ooh, there's a triple there. I think you could make this triple. It's thin. Quarter rock, I think you're getting... It's hard to make this one stick. So... see if Peter can bring the heat. Wants to hit it exactly where Marty hit that last one. Yeah, like that. So a lot of blues leaving town. Big applause for the Blue Nosers. Now, is this worth taking the risk on, or do you just take your medicine, make the double, and go tied up without coming home if you're Quebec? Now, this match to throw this freeze, this got to be good. We don't like this one. They're doing a lot of sliding to side draws. This one might slip right through the rings. Gonna hold on, so somebody's gonna score here. Looking like it's gonna be Nova Scotia. Where do you go here? How do we spread them out to guarantee our deuce? Probably want to go on to Paul's right, our left. Oh wow, I didn't see that coming. I think you want to go open side, would be my guess. Away from the... Okay. My concern with this is if you make this, it's a great shot. But if you're a little bit off, you might just kind of split the back one, put it behind the one top four, leave a pocket to draw to, and then you're going to be looking for the nearest bridge to jump off of. You've made it worse, harder on yourself. Personally, I like the just to draw the tee line open side, away from the side that that double rolls to. So it would have been an out turn draw. He's made this perfect though. Capped it right to frozen almost. So really good shot, and Quebec's got to do some damage control here and hold them to 2, I would think. Nowhere to hide. Right on the nose. And Paul can make a little mistake for them. If not, it's going to be probably a 2 score for Nova Scotia. But 4 rocks to come. Skip rocks here to come in the 7th end. Looks like a nose hit would do the trick. the hair high side. He got this one curling. I think he's missed this one badly. Fakes. Okay. Sen's getting away from Quebec here. Yeah, that's a good spot, I think. So Francois is going to have to make the nose double in the middle and leave Paul a nose for 2. So you want to draw this one away from the yellows, but it needs to be close enough to the center that after Francois makes the nose double on those yellows, if you were to nose it and jam it on the back blue, that this one's still going to be second shot. So just needs to keep it in, just biting the 8 foot even. Good throw there from Paul. Another guy who's pretty much as smooth as ever. Slide has looked like that for the last 30 years. You guys like it? Doesn't look heavy to me though. Looks pretty good. Well judged, well thrown. So, for Quebec, nose double, give up the deuce. Maybe take on a dead freeze. I don't think so. Try that double. It's harder. You're eating the time clock here, though, that's for sure. I don't think that does anything that the nose double doesn't do, and that's, I would say, 3 times harder. Could hit it thick and roll kind of frozen, that would be outstanding, but it's not a likely outcome. I don't think it's time to freeze personally, but yeah. So took them a while. Probably chatted there for 45 seconds at least. Hit this a hair on the broom side. Nose hit with Peel would do it. And then Nova Scotia's going to have a hit for 2. But first he's going to make this double. Anything a little bit too high or a little bit too low. He's got about an inch and a half of wiggle room to make this double. If he's higher than that or lower than that, he's going to jam it or miss it. This one floating a bit. I don't think that's a yet. That's still going back. He's missed this high. Free draw for 3 and a disastrous end for Team Quebec and a exciting end if you're cheering for the Blue Nosers in Nova Scotia. Paul's just got to draw a piece of the 8 for full 12 here for 3. And an 8-5 lead coming home if they can pull this off. Always amazed at the momentum swings in a curling game. Could just throw the same shot he just threw, but he's going to throw the fat part of the rings here to the button. You can see Quebec's under 3 minutes left. That's not a lot of time now, but I think they have 1 timeout left. The boys jumped it right away here. This is a spot that early in the game Paul missed in the first end. A big draw here where you know this curls a ton. Peter's backing off. I think if he was worried he'd be diving in there. So no problem there. We're going to see 3 points go on the board for Team Nova Scotia, and they're going to take an 8-5 lead to the 8th end. We'll be back to see if Quebec can mount the big comeback. Be back right after a short break to the Everest Senior Curling Championships from Vernon, British Columbia.
Hazle caso que no aquel.
Welcome back, folks. 8th end action. Can Quebec mount the big comeback here? They've got the first part taken care of. They're down 3. You got to be down to make a big comeback, so they got step 1 accomplished. This Grand Kelly, I'm going to go with Grand Kelly. I'll ask him from hospitality room tonight, but didn't want that one short of the rings, I can promise you. So Jean Gagnon with the corner guard here. Need this one about halfway or better. Need it to be usable, not too high. Boys are working it. I've seen lots of crazy things happen in last end, so this game is far from over. I'd much rather be up 3 than down 3, don't get me wrong, but taking those corner guards very tight. That's a good one, though. Paul's thinking of peel on that. I'm not a huge fan of that. Okay. You see Quebec throwing a corner guard on the other side, and then Paul, I don't know what he's going to do. Draw the 4-foot, maybe. Never fun peeling your own rock. Just a reminder that, man, put it in the spot we didn't want it. What a good shot. So let's assume this is made. I don't know what Paul's going to do. I don't think he's going to throw it through. I think he's going to draw the 4-foot. And Quebec goes around a corner guard. They peel that corner guard. Quebec goes around the other corner guard. They probably hit the open one. Quebec goes around the corner guard again. They peel, and depending if there's a double, they keep guarding until they hopefully can make that double wide 3. But when I go through it in my head, you see why it's advantage Nova Scotia. I think you need to throw one in the middle. Just in case something goes awry, even if it doesn't, you want to force Quebec to have to deal with something in the middle at some point and make a hit and roll rather than just come arounds. And if they do make some good come arounds, because they have the 2 corners, you want to have the ability to hit and roll in off of one of them and lie 2. Don't really want this behind the tee line, but anything that stops that is going to be better, is going to be shot rock over anything around the corner guards. If this slips through the 8-foot, not very helpful. That's helpful, though. It's going to be shot rock still after this one comes to rest. So Eric needs to make a good come around here. Preferably just above the tee line, dead buried. Sounds like they like the line, but they don't want to sweep it for speed. They think it's a little bit heavy. It needs to slow down a little bit. It needs to stop curling, but that's a good shot. Pretty buried. Could chase it on the outside, but I think we'll just see a peel here. And Quebec's going to go around the other corner guard, and then Paul's going to hit this open one and try and roll in and lie 2. You could also play the... Could play the double, like the left corner guard on your screen. Peel that, and your shooter could come in and get the back one. I mean, it's sort of a fancy shot. Didn't look wide. Good shot. Throw there, Marty. So play this one out in your head. If they go over there, Nova Scotia is going to have to hit that open one now, and if they roll into the 8-foot, Texas is still going to have to go around the corner guard again. They lie second and third. Nova Scotia is then going to peel the corner guard. Gonna need some misses here out of Nova Scotia if Quebec's gonna get 3. We need one really bad miss. 1-0. And of course, Quebec's gonna have to make all their shots. This looks like a pretty good one again. Need to get this buried though. Needs to curl. Gotta go, Frankie. Pretty good. He needs to hit and roll into the 8-foot here. If he knows this, they can then come around that corner guard and get second and third, which is huge. As compared to if you roll this a rock inside, they cannot lie second and third. They'll be third and fourth. And it won't be a very easy double on the yellows. So Peter really wants to roll this a rock in. Asking for it to curl. No dice. Okay, we've got action here. Gotta go around again. Get it buried, top 8-foot. Get buried anywhere, even if you come right to it. Prefer not to come right to it, because eventually Paul's gonna... They're probably gonna have to leave that exposed, and you don't want him to have a Mickey Mouse double. So Max needs to get this buried. Top of the 8-foot. They're sliding beside it again. Really curling though. Gotta pay attention here, fellas. This is really curling. Oof, just feathers. That's unfortunate. They're pretending like they're thinking that's heavy. I think it might have picked a bit, but so Peter Burgess, with the chance not to win the game, but to go a long way towards winning it. 3/4, make the double. He is going to throw peel. I like throwing a little softer because even if you hit and roll into the 8-foot, it's a good result. This is going to be make the double or hit and roll out. There's no in between. I think he's missed it, so he's just got the top one. Ooh, even spins. Oh, it's stage shot. Doesn't change anything for Quebec. After midnight for you, anybody in Nova Scotia that's watching, that's hardcore. Give yourself a pat on the back if you're still up watching your squad here. Give yourself 2 pats on the back if you also have your yellow rain slicker hat on. This one looks good. Yeah, good shot by Max there. So does Paul chase the back one? Not likely. Just gonna peel, I would think. And then he's gonna have to make the double. I mean, Francois is gonna probably hit the open one, lie 3. Straight peel, yeah. I don't see anything else good. You could chase the back one, but it doesn't really help you all that much. Could go after the back one, and if you do tick the guard, so be it. Got that one a little inside of where he wanted it. Almost trying to get cheeky and roll in front of Shot Rock. Almost did it. I think if you're Quebec, you got to hit the open one with a Shot Rock, and you could draw in front. That's a good call. Needs to be in the rings. Needs to be fourth shot rather. Not really going to change the double. He already has that short of double, so it's not going to get any longer, really. If this isn't in the rings, Paul's going to get a chance to draw the 8-foot on this side over near those blues, and he won't have a shot. But if it is, then Paul's going to have to make that double. So, I don't know. It doesn't really change much in terms of the double. It's a 2-foot double, and you might make it 2.5 feet if you throw it over here. So I guess it's a little bit harder. The problem is there's more ways to make it if you throw it in front of it. Because if you jam the first one, you're going to make the back double. Or you can make it across the top. There's only, I like hitting shot rock. All that to say, I like hitting shot rock. Lying 3. You need a break. You need him to jam that double, or you need him to throw a bad one and totally miss it. Yeah, they found it. They got to be tight on time here. They have, is that our sheet clock behind there? 18 seconds? No, thankfully no. Somebody's tight on time over there. Paul's eyeing up that nose double. Nose a little center line side for the win. He's just going to sort of kind of hack weight here. Hit and stay. En masse, a little heavy. Oh, Johnny really needs to sweep this. They might have lost the game right here. No, it's going to hang around, so. Okay. Lying 3, needing 3 to tie. Skip Paul Fleming with a double to win the game and put a big W on the board, starting 3-0, but to beat one of the top teams here. Shouldn't curl much out here. If I'm Quebec, I want to hear whoa out of his hand. I think it's more likely that he misses this on the high side with a jam than tight and over curl. So here we go, folks. Been a bit of a wild game. Very entertaining. Paul with the nose hit with firm to win it. Should be able to hold it out here, I would think. Yeah, great shot by Paul. And a big victory for Nova Scotia. They'll be happy winning that one. Lots of back and forth, but at the end of it all, Team Nova Scotia, Paul Fleming, moves to 3-0, and Team Quebec, Francois Roberge and his teammates move to 2-1. That's it for today from the Everest Senior Curling Championships. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'm Brent Lang signing off for the night. We'll be back tomorrow with some more action here from Vernon, BC. Have a great night.